All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a piece of Java tech that is, well, an absolute workhorse, JDBC. It's kind of like the invisible bridge that connects your code to this huge world of data. So let's dive right in. So let's kick things off with a problem that every developer runs into. You've built this awesome Java application, right? But here's the catch. It needs to be able to talk to all sorts of different databases. Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, you name it. And the tricky part is, each one of those databases basically speaks its own dialect. So how on earth do you write your code once and have it magically communicate with all of them?
Well, the answer to that puzzle is JDBC, which stands for Java Database Connectivity. The easiest way to think about it is like a universal translator for your Java program. It's a standard API, basically a set of rules and tools that lets your Java code talk to pretty much any database out there without needing to become fluent in its own weird, specific language.
So what does it actually do? Well, at its heart, JDBC gives developers a single, reliable toolkit for all the basics. It handles making the connection, it lets you build your SQL commands, it sends them off to be executed, and then it helps you work with all the records that come flying back.
That's the whole shebang.
And this, right here, this is the real game changer, portability. Because of JDBC, you don't have to tear your hair out rewriting your code every time you need to switch from, say, a MySQL database to a Postgres one. Nope, you write it once, and JDBC handles the translation behind the scenes.
So how does it pull off this magic trick? It's not really magic, of course. It's actually a pretty clever two-part system that's designed to be super flexible. And this diagram just lays it all out perfectly. See your Java application up at the top? It doesn't actually talk straight to the database. Instead, it talks to the standard JDBC API. That API then talks to this central hub called the JDBC Driver Manager. And the driver manager's job is to figure out exactly which translator or, driver it needs for the specific database you're trying to reach.
Think of it this way. The driver manager is like the traffic cop. It knows about all the different database drivers available and directs the traffic. And the driver itself, that's the specialist interpreter. So when your app says, hey, I need to talk to Oracle, the driver manager, the traffic cop, points you to the Oracle driver. And that driver knows exactly how to translate your standard commands into the specific dialect that Oracle understands.
So when you're actually in the code, you're working with a handful of these core pieces. We just met the driver manager. The other big ones are the connection, which is your live session with the database, the statement, which is what you use to send your command, the result set, which holds all the data that comes back, and of course SQL exception for when things don't go exactly as planned.
But listen, the absolute key to this whole process, the one thing you can't do anything without, is the connection object. Once you've asked the driver manager for a connection and you've gotten it, you have officially opened a live channel to the database. Everything else you do is going to flow through that connection. Okay, so let's see what this looks like in practice. A totally standard database query using JDBC really just boils down to 4 simple steps. Let's walk through them. Think of it like you're checking a book out of a library. Step 1, you got to get your library card. This is that all-important connection. You go to the driver manager and you tell it exactly which library, which database you want to connect to by giving it a specific address or URL, plus your user info. This proves you have access.
Step 2. Now you fill out the request form for the book you want. You use your new connection to create a statement object. This is basically the little vessel that's going to hold your SQL command, your official request for information.
Step 3. You hand that form to the librarian and you get your book. You execute your query and the database sends the information back, all neatly packaged up for you inside a ResultSets object. That's your data, ready to go.
And, you guessed it, the final step is to actually read the book. You just loop through that result set, one row at a time, and pull out all the juicy information that you asked for. It's as simple as that. So if you're going to remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. This is the core promise, the whole philosophy behind JDBC. It's all about writing your database logic one time and being able to connect to a whole bunch of different databases without a huge headache. And that write once, connect anywhere idea is exactly what makes JDBC so foundational. It's why Java is used in everything from massive enterprise systems to web servers. It gives them this incredible versatility and freedom from being locked into just one database provider. So, getting a handle on JDBC isn't just about learning another API. It's really about unlocking the power for your applications to talk to the entire world of data, no matter where it's stored. It basically turns any database into a potential source for your next great idea.